Now let's take a look at currencies today, and Bloomberg's Patricia Louis, the Forex reporter that we know and love, joins us from the Singapore newsroom. And Trish, let's talk about the overall Forex market for the week so far. How has it been?
Well, Susan, it's been a pretty mixed session, actually, for this week. A dollar index is down about 0.2%, and last week was up about 0.2% as well. But basically, the magnitude of the moves were pretty small compared to the last few weeks before then, where we saw swings of about 0.5% to as much as 3%. Now, it just goes to show, traders are telling me that it's all in consolidation theme. They had a lot to digest this week. They had the very mixed reviews from the IMF, the World Bank, and the OECD about the global economic outlook ahead. Pretty mixed picture there. And basically, the theme was the FOMC, where traders were wondering about the rate hike expectations. They did roll back the extent in which they expect the Fed to hike rates. In fact, the Fed implied futures are now looking at about 34% chance of a Fed rate increase by the end of the year, compared to about 50% just a week ago. And that's why the dollar is slightly weaker. But that's only against the majors. Against the Asian currencies, Susan, it's a pretty mixed picture. We're seeing that the Asian dollar index is actually weaker. So we're seeing that the Korean won is one of the weaker performers this week. There were talks about stock outflows. Indonesia rupiah, on the contrary, is one of the stronger ones on the week anyway. Also based on the fact of about of stocks flows as well, and also prospects of BI intervention. Traders saying that the outlook ahead could remain this way at least until maybe in the middle of June, in the middle of July, or when they could get a clearer picture on whether the green shoots are sprouting rather in the third quarter of the year.
And Trish, let me ask you about those green shoots. How is that factoring into the appetite for risk these days? Because it did rebound last night, but it wasn't really enough to erase earlier losses on the week, though.
Traders saying the sentiment there is not. There has to be something really strong or substantial for the green shoots to actually sprout in a very flourish in a very strong way, whatever. They're saying that they're going to be hunting for a lot more data. Next week we're going to have the U.S. non-farm payrolls, but that's only going to be late in the week on Friday. So that's a bit of a wait there on to see how the U.S. economy is recovering. But at the start of the week we have the U.S. ISM and consumer confidence, so that may give a bit of indication there on how that's faring, especially on the consumer front. In Asia, we have a lot of PMI numbers and industrial production and trade numbers, and traders will be looking closely at that to see whether the external demand is recovering. But more importantly, it's more of the domestic demand that traders want to see. They really need some really good numbers out of Asia before the risk appetite actually takes off in a strong way. Susan.
Okay, Trish, thanks for that. We'll